Hey guys, got in the creek a couple days ago and had pretty good luck. Wasn't in there long. We'd had a rain about a week ago and pretty good one, and it looked like it flushed out some new artifacts on the gravel bars. But found quite a bit of good stuff right up on the surface. But I thought I'd go over with you what I got today. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on this one here. This is a phallic piece here. Anyway, I'll use that term so the kids will not know really what that is. Some may, but I won't spend a whole lot of time on that. That was right up on the surface. This gets to my pecking stones. There's that icicle type that's made out of a white quartz there. But a nice little small piece grooved out at the top. Here's one that's a longer piece made out of quartz. See where they've polished it on a couple sides here. They polished it on all sides, but more so on the sides, I think, where they lay their hand and finger at. This is a left-hander here. Be like that. But it's a nice little piece. I like finding these smaller pecking stones, but really worn on the striking end here quite a bit. That was used quite a bit, that tool there. Pecked out at the top. This gets into my hammers or my pestles. This one I kind of threw off to the side, and then I went back and looked at it, and I said, gosh, it's a pretty nice piece here. It's old. It didn't look like it originally had been worked too well, but it actually has. Really took off the top there, pecked that out. It's got a lot of oil on it. Tool was used a lot. It was all pecked out in that area there, worked out, flaked out, and pretty worn on the end there. Imagine it was held, somewhat like this. And not sure if it's a right-hander or a left-hander, but it's actually a pretty nice little piece here. So I picked it up and kept it. This gets back into a kind of a standard type pestles that I find, or hammers. It's been all worked out right here, a lot of oil there. Be held like that. You can see all the pecking marks in it there. It's smoothed off pretty well, polished off pretty well. Of course, the top where they lay their fingers or thumb up there. But that's a pretty nice piece, laying right up on the top. And this, I think, is an ochre grinder. Probably grind it into powder. It's pretty red. I surmise that that's just ochre stain in there. On this side, it's I think that's probably the palm side that it'd be held in. That's the side that they used to crush the ochre with, I think. Fair amount of oil on it. It was used a good bit. Not real sure what this is. It's got a lot of ochre on it too, but parts of it have been worked right in here on the top. This side, it's got some grooves in it, and I don't know if those are natural or man-made. I don't know. But see there where it's all been kind of struck out right there. I don't know what, I'm just not real sure about that one. Found some effigies. That's a turtle effigy, a little bit worn, but there's the head up here and the body right back here, little box turtle effigy. And found another effigy, and that's a bird effigy there. You can see the wing part of it through here that they chipped out. This is not the best example I've got, but it's pretty neat. It's nice. There's the head up here, back to the tail here. That's this side of it. You can see where they've pecked it out. Nice little bird effigy. I do have some that are really a lot nicer and aren't as worn as bad, but anyway, this gets to my polishing stones. This is a pretty neat piece here. It's two materials. That's a polishing end. That's granite, or excuse me, quartz there, and granite on the top. But that's been all, you can tell it's all been chipped off all the way around the edges there. Just probably held it like that. Maybe use that to polish pottery or something with. Pretty small piece, but pretty neat. Two materials, that quartz and granite, mated together there. And this one, kind of interesting. It's got this grooved spot out right here, and that's for, I think, where your thumb would lay in there. But it is really worn around the edges. You can tell. And I think this piece was used for actually polishing pottery too. I think that's exactly what it was used for. But anyway, they use it a lot. It's got a lot of wear on it. Real smooth. So that's a little thumb indentation. I mean, almost perfect, just like that. Here's a granite piece, and there's a polishing surface there. It's real smooth, smooth as glass. Probably be held like that. Pretty neat piece. Another polishing piece. It's just really worn along the edges. And this gets into my palm grinders that I found really three what I call just regular palm grinders. One of them what I call a duck head, and I'd call this one is a regular palm grinder. It's your grinding surface there, all polished off. This one's a little bit different, kind of has like a heel to it, but you can see how it's all been pecked off and flaked off right in there. Also on the back side, and that's the polishing side there, real smooth. But I've got several like that. It's a pretty neat piece. It's got this ridge up here. I think it just fit up in your palm. Just a different style. And here's one that's pretty standard. Really used a lot. Super smooth there. It's really worn around the edges. That tool was used quite a bit. That grinder, little palm grinder there. Nice piece. And this is a duck head style, and because they look like a duck head basically, I think. And but this surface here is really worn, so they use that for grinding. Probably held it like that, put their finger on it like this and held it like that. They probably use that for hammering a little bit too, because it's really worn on that back end too. Those are pretty neat. Little duck head, what I call the duck head grinders. And this, I think, is just a little bit of a pot. This is all dented out right in here. It's all been pecked out all around the edges here. I think it was just a little, what I can consider just a little small pot or mortar. A little small mortar right in here. Just can dent it out. And this is actually a point that I found. This is the first one I found in the creek of all the time I've been searching. It's pretty crude, but and it's not the best material. It's kind of a soft quartz, but anyway, it's kind of worn too. And this gets into what I would consider a worn axe head here. These are, I'm becoming more convinced that what I've seen about how they mount these in a stick, that some of these styles are worn axes. No wear on it at all, and they would haft it in here. Although it's a triangle kind of a shaped piece. Would make a good worn weapon, actually. That's what I got for today, and try to get back in the creek again, but I appreciate you guys checking in with me.